question, the member from Kitchener-Conestoga.
Yes, thank you, Speaker. My question this morning is to the Minister of Finance. Minister, last week when our tourism critic asked for the economic analysis supporting the punitive aviation fuel tax you've placed on Ontario families, you avoided the question. So, Minister, let me help you with the math. We told you about the loss of 3,000 jobs and $100 million in GDP predicted by Dr. Fred Lazar of York University's Schulich School of Business. Dr. Lazar also told us that eliminating the tax, as in BC, New Brunswick, Quebec, and Saskatchewan, could provide an $138 million economic boost, add 52,000 additional tourists, and close to 2,000 jobs. But we're going in the wrong direction. In fact, we're the only jurisdiction heading in the opposite direction. So tell us, Minister, what is the secret? What economic analysis have you done on the impact of job and revenue losses that this aviation tax will cause?
Thank you. Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, since we announced the aviation fuel modest increase of a penny, Air Canada has launched new flights from Toronto to Rio de Janeiro, Amsterdam, and Pan Am. Wow. You should also note that in comparison to some other jurisdictions, and I believe they've named Buffalo as one, there's 68,000 flights in Buffalo. In Pearson, in Toronto, there's 420,000 flights. There's 7 airlines in Buffalo. There's over 65 airlines in Toronto and Pearson. They only serve 22 cities, Ontario, and in Pearson they serve over 180 destinations worldwide. And the analysis that he makes, they're comparing 5 million travelers in Buffalo. In Pearson, it's over 36 million in 2013 alone. You should also note, Mr. Speaker, that when they talk about the increase, which hasn't been touched since 1992, and it's a penny, they're asking the wrong level of government. If they're going to petition anybody, they should let it be known where the real...
Thank you. Supplementary.
Well, Minister, as I had mentioned, every other province in Canada who is going in the opposite direction aside from you. And so, as I've said before, your numbers just don't add up. And in fact, you've marginalized them by characterizing the increase as a mere penny. Minister, your tax creates one of the highest...
Order. Cuts both ways. Please finish.
I know it's tough having them here and be reminded
Please
of
finish.
increases.
Please finish.
Minister, your tax creates one of the highest fuel taxes in North America. And that means higher ticket prices for travelers, families, and business people. It means, Minister, another 400,000 travelers diverted from Ontario airports on top of the 3 million that already crossed the border to fly from aviation fuel tax-free airports like Buffalo. We've seen the headlines, Minister. Buffalo Airport will take advantage of your increases, putting on a full-court press, courting travelers as well as airlines south of the border. Sunwing's just the wingtip of the iceberg. So, Minister, you have no economic analysis. So will you please join us, heed our call to...
Thank you. Thank you. I stand, you sit. Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, the marketing manager in Buffalo Airport called Ontario's fuel increase insignificant compared to the federal taxes and surcharges that's being charged now. Pearson has actually indicated that it will continue to grow regardless of the issues that we put forward. And the member opposite should know this. An average ticket price domestically to Vancouver from Toronto is about $284, of which $5.90 goes to the province of Ontario. How much goes to the federal government? $52, Mr. Speaker. An international flight to Orlando, $4 goes to the province, $44 goes to the federal government, and $34 goes to the U.S. government authorities. You should be fighting for Ontario. You should tell your cousins to stand up for Ontario, give more of that money back to us, so we can get...
You seated, please. You seated, please. New question, the member from Parkdale Heights. The member from Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke, in the middle of my sentence, will now be warned. And the member from South Simcoe North, come to order.